Welcome again to this brand new session of the Zipinar, which is comprising of two wonderful topics within 1 hour from two new great speakers that we have for today. As always, we are very grateful for you joining in our webinars via Facebook and YouTube live as well. So, as always, we are here to bring you a bliss of knowledge in a short period of time and making sure that you get the most of the knowledge within a short period of time. So today we will discuss about for the first topic, which is content creation for impact. So content creation can change lives. It can actually add a lot of value to people's lives so people can learn and get inspired because nowadays the moment you wake up you always look at social media, any other platforms, or you seek for things that would motivate you in different manners. So content is really important in impacting lives, and here to deliver this topic is Surya Pasricha, and he's a content creator and a podcast host, a passionate storyteller, um, also aspiring best-selling author who aims to create a difference in this world through the power of education. He also works full-time in an advertising job where he works with brands and help them penetrate into different markets as well as create expansion strategies, collaterals, as well as social and digital marketing strategies. And without further ado, let's have Surya to deliver the topic. Please take over.
Thanks, Philjon, for this lovely introduction. And it's been a journey so far, creating content over the past 2 years. And I want to talk a little bit about how this entire thing happened to me and happened in my life. So basically, I used to write a blog where I used to cover stories of different brands, how they are deploying marketing strategies in the real world, as well as the marketing strategies that are being brainstormed in a advertising agency. But then I realized that stories are a very powerful medium to create impact. And I had a classmate in college who in my first college. So basically, I dropped out of a bachelor's in technology degree. I was into hardcore programming and stuff until I figured out that this is not for me, and I switched track to do a bachelor's in business administration and marketing. So I had this friend back in college, a batchmate back in college, my first college. So basically, he was from a very small town, and he was very passionate about technology and animation in general. So even though he didn't know very well in programming, he didn't do very well in programming, but he had this innate passion for creating things and creating videos. So he started animating using a software called Blender, and then he cracked some deals and got into Disney a year later. So that journey, that story really inspired me, and that was my first story which I tried to cover but I couldn't because of some technical difficulties, and he was placed in a different place. And I had also changed colleges back then, so I couldn't get the chance to entirely write his story. But that moment, that particular incident made me realize that everyone has a story, and every one story can go on to bring a lot of impact and inspire a lot of people, like the way it inspired me. So basically in India, like, we have a lot of small town boys which go on to do some incredible stuff like my friend did. And I'm really honored to be his friend. So that kind of inculcated that spark in me to start my own blog. Then I started my own blog, and it didn't do so well. But a year later, or probably like a year and a half later, I discovered LinkedIn. And then I started creating content over there. And until I, realized that the kind of traction which I was gaining through the platform. Earlier, I used to reach only to college people, or maybe, folks outside my college, and maybe some school students as well. But then someone told me about how LinkedIn can be used to network with a lot of folks from the industry, as well as from different startups, different domains. So I started doing that. I tried to shift my content a little bit towards the startup ecosystem. And then, I got connected to a lot of founders from there. And, I didn't strike any deal with them, but, those conversations which I had with them over a Zoom call, that was really refreshing and, made me think about different topics very deeply. And that's the moment when I also realized that I'm doing good at writing. I'm able to connect to a lot of people. So why not start a podcast? And back in India at that time, we had this crazy guy called Beer Biceps, who's like the #1 podcaster of India. And I was really inspired by his journey, how he, transformed his entire career trajectory from being a fitness YouTuber to being a podcast host and, communicating so well with stalwarts of different industries and maybe, some great legends like startup legends and, Indian Army officers, IPS officers. So I just thought to myself that if this guy can do it, why can't I? So I started my podcast from there and, slowly starting talking to people. Earlier, I was a very introverted kid in college. I couldn't speak to anyone except those, tiny little group of friends which I had, which was around two or three friends. But that podcast gave me the confidence that I can also start my own podcast. And then when I started my own podcast, slowly and slowly I started to build that confidence and started talking to a lot of people from different industries. And in the process, I also got to gain a lot from their journeys, their experiences, and I also became smarter in a way that if you place a scientist in front of me, or if you place an investor in front of me, I'll be able to today at this stage I'll be able to talk to them for at least an hour. Earlier, I could barely speak for like 2 minutes in front of them, but right now I can do it for like an hour or more than that. So that is what podcasting taught. Uh, could you just give me a minute? My battery's running low. I'll just one sec. I'm so sorry. Yeah, now it's fine. So I was saying that podcasting, kind of transformed me in a way that I wish when I was growing up, I could have, and podcasting gave me that platform. And now I want to talk a little bit about how I was able to create or how you guys can create impact through content creation. So as we all know that there are a lot of maybe in fact tons of different social media platforms. You have Instagram, Twitter, Outlook, Quicker, and a lot of different platforms. But the most popular ones are Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, in every country. And all the different kinds of formats which you can post. So maybe if you want to be an Instagram creator, you can create a 1 minute, 30-second reel in India. And through that, I've seen a lot of people, creating business content, a lot of people creating fashion content, food bloggers, and all of that. And some people create content for fun. I create content for providing value. So I focus a lot on, covering stories of people. That is what my podcast is also about. It's called the Discussions Delivered, where I speak to people from all over the world and cover their stories from 0 to 100, how they, climbed up the ladder and are now inspiring millions of people across the globe. So I kind of did a brand extension over there on LinkedIn where I started writing stories of people. And, a lot of people texted me saying that your stories are very inspiring. The way you write those stories are very inspiring. And, since I was also talking about LinkedIn, I've also seen some creators who cover a very important or maybe a very difficult business concept in that 1 minute or 1 minute 30-second reel. And to me, it's very refreshing and how such a complex topic can be explained in those 30 seconds, 1 minute, 1 minute 30 seconds. And you can also, generate a ton of revenue as well as you can create a lot of impact in terms of fundraising. So in particular, when I started covering stories of people, I met this waiter at a restaurant in Bombay, and basically, I generally speak to all the people whom I come across on a daily basis. So I started talking to him, and I got to know about his story that he was good at math and science back in his 12th grade, but due to his family conditions, he couldn't pursue a BTech degree, a BSc degree, or maybe any other degree which he wanted to. But then I just to check his knowledge and if he's saying the right things and if he's actually telling the truth. I asked him a few questions back from my 11th grade textbook, 12th grade textbook, and to my surprise, he knew them all. So I got to I also asked him a few questions about his family life and all of that, and why he couldn't continue his education. So he told me that he's from a very small town in some state of India, and he barely had money to even support his ailing mother, and the because of that he couldn't invest in his education. So I told him that what if through my LinkedIn profile I could help you in a way which can help you get a bachelor's degree or maybe continue your education, maybe a distance degree, but maybe that could help you. So he said, yeah, that would be good. And I covered his story, and I raised a lot of money, majorly the entire amount for his distance learning program, because distance learning programs are not that expensive here in India. So I just started a fundraising campaign through a fundraising campaign website here in India, and raised his entire college degree money, and then I transferred to him. But later, he couldn't actually complete that degree because he had some other family issues as well. So I had to refund that entire amount to all the generous donators from all over the world, and that way, I my dreams got fulfilled. Basically, I never thought that a 300 words paragraph or a 300 word story could actually help someone, uplift themselves and uplift their families. So that experience was a very moving one for me. And I made this my mission that whatever I do in life, I'll always contribute to education, because education, I don't know, has moved me somewhere. Maybe because I have traveled and studied in so many different places across India where I've seen both good education, both good teachers, bad teachers. And I think that everyone, regardless of their backgrounds, regardless of the cities in which they live, regardless of the geographies in which they reside, they should get equal access to education and good quality education, because I believe that education is that one, way in which you can actually come out of poverty or maybe transform your life into something you could never have imagined. So content creation is just a way I try to I'm trying to fulfill that motive, that goal in life. But that is where I want to be. Maybe if someone asks me that, if I go for an interview in India, they ask me, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? So maybe if you are going to ask me that question, I'll say that I want to be a pillar of strength in the education ecosystem, and I want to transform that. So yeah, that way I've realized that content is that one medium, just because it has a lot of network effect. A lot of people from different geographies can see your content, and they can get inspired by your story, maybe relate to it as well. I'll talk about my podcast. So my podcast had a viewership, a listenership from 15 countries. Maybe out of those 15 countries, some people resonated with some podcasts, some people did not. But maybe it created some kind of impact over there, and that is why I'm getting to, actually network with a lot of good people, and enhance my own knowledge, read a lot of books, and just try to create an impact in this world and add some value. So that way, I would encourage you all to, maybe if you can spare 1 minute or maybe 2 minutes to create a reel, you never know how it could change your life, or how it could, actually bring a difference to this world. So that's my journey. And I would also like to add that if you are afraid of, shooting that 1 minute video, just start with it. Because if you don't start, you'll never get to it. And learned this the hard way, because when I was in college, I was not confident at all in talking to people. I couldn't speak in this webinar. If you had asked me or approached me 2 years back, I couldn't have said this for 20 minutes, uh, 20 minutes duration for what I've been doing so far. And yeah, that's my whole journey. And if you have any questions, I would love to answer them out.
That was really a big step up that you did out there, Surya. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's really good to hear that by this webinar as well, like you're sharing how you're able to change your personality through a certain movement that you did. So like are there techniques or styles that you prefer when doing like when doing content creation? And can you tell us what is your most favorite?
See, when it comes to, see, I'm more of a LinkedIn content creator. I'm definitely trying to create more Instagram reels. I have a lot of, I'll just show you my notebook also. I have like a 5 pager, 6 pager, list where I've jotted down a lot of ideas. But today my camera has come, so I'll definitely start shooting more content. So you can see all the ideas written here. So I'll start shooting maybe by this weekend. So when it comes to video content, I'll definitely let you know when I'm started with it. But when it comes to LinkedIn content and writing, what I've seen is that a lot of people, actually try to imitate others in a sense that when you look at big creator profiles, they actually try to copy their language or maybe their hook creation style or maybe their ender style or something like that, or maybe the call to action which you call. So never copy that. Make it a habit to actually use your own style and try to integrate your own conversational skills and the way you talk to people on a daily life basis in your content. So what I do, I majorly talk in English plus Hindi, which is the national language of India. So I always create my posts, whatever stories I'm covering, with a mix of both English as well as Hindi, so that it makes it more relatable to the Indian audience. If I'm only writing English content or maybe just using one language, the post doesn't get any traction. It gets a very, very less traction just because people are not able to relate to that. But when I write in English plus Hindi, that way people can relate to it and people see me as an authentic figure because that is the way I talk to people on a daily life basis, in a daily life basis. So I would say that try to hone your own conversational skills first and then try to integrate into the content piece which you are creating. Don't try to imitate others because that way you lose all your originality and then you won't go viral at all. I'm not saying that this is a tip to go viral, but I'm just saying that the probability increases if you stick to one style and stick to how you talk to people on a daily basis, whether it is in your written content or maybe in your video content. It doesn't matter. Just stick to who you are and be proud of that.
Wow, that's perfect. And also, like, was there a time, like, your content was poorly received by the audience? And can you tell us if there is?
Poorly received as in low response, less response, or do you mean like a hatred towards it?
Yeah, like let's say for example, like yeah, low responses or like were there negative comments about that content that you did?
See, I've never had a personal experience of someone texting me that your content is bad. They just say that you can make it better. And even if I'm getting it's not a negative, review, to be honest. They are mostly feedbacks. Like when I started my podcast, people texted me that you can maybe improve the lighting, maybe you can you reduce the usage of the word and because I tend to say and because a lot. So they texted me saying that don't use these words again and again. Try to reduce their usage. And yeah, they were just feedbacks in which I definitely try to improve upon. I still have a long way to go in terms of content delivery when it comes to video. And but I think I've got better at the art of writing, especially on LinkedIn because the platform has been really working out well for me. But when you say that any low response times have been a lot for me. Like I stopped creating content for the past 2 weeks because I was too occupied at work and I couldn't think of any ideas. So right now, when I've started creating content again this week, my first post went on Monday, so it didn't receive the response I anticipated it to receive and what it earlier used to receive. So I'll say that, there are both highs and lows, and sometimes the tide is up and sometimes it is a low lying tide. So you can't really, uh, you know, promise that it is always going to be a high tide. But if you keep creating content consistently, you will be growing exponentially. That is what I can say. And you'll always, enjoy doing it. If you stop in between just being bothered by, the lows which you hit sometimes in your life or maybe in content, and you lose the motivation to create content, then you won't look at your journey as a enjoyable one. Rather, you would say that it's good that I stopped doing it, and you won't cherish it later on in your life. But if you create consistently, like how it works for finance, as Siva would be speaking about, that the power of compounding, basically, like how the power of compounding, actually goes on to benefit in the future run, or maybe in the 10 years or 15 years time. So definitely that way you'll see a lot of exponential growth if you just stick to the process and keep creating consistently.
That's perfect. So for those who are just starting their contents there and not really getting views, hear this man out about just continue what you are doing and be passionate about it. So Surya is the man
I,
to tell you.
I would like to add one more thing. Even for my podcast, when I started out, nobody cared about it. I'm going to be very, very honest with you that nobody is going to care about your podcast or maybe your YouTube channel when you start once. You'll obviously share the links with everyone on, your WhatsApp groups, on your Facebook groups, on your Instagram stories, but nobody is going to care. Hardly one or two people will care. But if you actually analyze your own videos, your own content, and then look at others, how others are building upon it, and carefully uh, curating your content or modifying your content or getting better at it. That way, slowly people will start watching, reading your content, and then definitely in the long run you'll be much more happy because you'll
Def-
get a lot of views and readership as well. But you'll always have to innovate. You'll always have to reduce the probability of making errors, and you'll always have to get better at your craft, because you can't stick to one style in the content game. If you are just repeating your style every year, there's nothing new in it. People would switch to another person for the same content, and you won't get any traction. So you always have to keep reinventing yourself when you are in the content game, or if you are in the startup game as well. Even Siva will tell us about it. Maybe if in finance also, I believe that there are a lot of strategies where you have to keep on reinventing yourself, and sometimes you have to take this. I don't know about the positions in the stock market, but sometimes you have to take a future position. I don't know what it is called, but you have to essentially take a different stance in that different condition which you are operating in. So just keep reinventing yourself, and don't care about the viewership, the readership, the impressions, the engagement at the beginning of your journey. Later on, it definitely matters, but at the beginning, if you care too much about it, you're never going to start, and you'll just stop your podcast, stop your LinkedIn journey, stop your Instagram journey after the first episode or the first reel you make, because the first reel will never get you anything. You have to stick to the process if you want to get something.
Definitely. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm with you, Surya, for that. Thank you. Very well delivered. And
Thanks.
yes, we would like to open as well the question portion to our audience, and we would like to acknowledge Srini, the CEO of Cogent, which is the company behind this webinar. Let us talk it.
Okay.
He's with us, and also yes, please feel free to open your mic for interaction with our speaker.
Okay. Thank you, Surya, for this session. I completely agree with you that some of these talk shows or interacting with people, makes a difference. So thank you. I think all your inputs will make a lot of difference, to many audience, especially who are introverts and never got a chance to go out and socialize in person, I think podcasts can make a lot of difference. Thank you for your.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Sridhar.
Thank you, Ravi. And Srini would like to say a great candid session and a very lucid and relatable session. He cannot open the mic as he is traveling right now. Yeah. And so yeah, any other questions or insights you would like to share before we move to the next topic? Yeah, from the attendees. Okay, so I guess Surya has delivered the topic uh clear and well. Thank you so much, Surya. And would you like
Thanks,
to
thanks.
promote anything, or would you like to give us links for your podcast, or do you have something that you are working on right now that you'd like anyone to know, and for those who are watching live as well?
Mm, Yes. So in the season one of my podcast, I delivered 21 stories of people from 7 countries, and in the season two, which I'm going to start soon, and that too offline. So season one was, online, all through Zoom, all through Riverside. But season two is definitely going to be a mix of offline as well as online. So I'll be speaking to a lot of different people this time, and someone from the Forbes list, someone from, great organizations and all of that. I don't want to give too much of a preview right now because I'll be releasing the teaser and all of that soon. But if you want to interact with me or maybe just get on a one-to-one Zoom call, I'll just link my LinkedIn profile in the chat and you can contact me right there.
That is perfect. All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's very approachable. Replies the moment he is available, and yeah, you can just get in touch with Surya over LinkedIn. Definitely. So thank you so much, Surya, for delivering the topic for us. And now we move to the next topic for today. So speaking of content, the next topic is definitely one of the trending contents, which is stock market, and not just stock market that we'll be talking about. It's stock future market. It is an asset class that comes under the derivatives market. It is considered as the high risk, high reward market and is having the huge potentiality to generate the wealth. And here to deliver us the topic is a stock market analyst, a research analyst, Siva Sankar, and who is also has worked as a software engineer in Singapore, having a dedicated decade of research experiencing in the stock future market and coming up with robust solutions for the enormous stock market challenges based upon the stock market science itself. He has developed an expert system for stock futures, and the solutions that are there in his expert system will work deftly for any global stock market. So this topic is really interesting to hear, and I would like to have Siva Sankar take over, deliver us the topic.
Okay, right. Thanks, Zipinar. Yeah. Hi, all of you. Today's topic is stock futures market. Before going to start that, let us start with what stock market is. Stock market is where the public sector companies are listed and traded on a daily basis. Of course, but after the conventional cash market, we have a future market and options market. The conventional market is also called as the cash market. Of course, after that, your current context will come into the picture, the stock futures market. Where initially you should know about what is the major difference, how it is making difference from the conventional market. Future market is having associated with the concepts like expiry dates, lot sizes, margins, and etc. Whereas the conventional cash market doesn't have any expiry dates as such. if you would like to buy a share or a stock of any particular company, you can hold it for how long you would like to. You can hold it for a year, you can hold it for 10 years, you can hold it for even more than that. There are no expiry dates in when it comes to the cash market. So, but in the future market, we'll be having surely the expiry dates. Future contracts will expire on a particular day. So you don't have to hold the stocks for too long. So you can hold the stocks to the maximum of the expiry date. You should close the stock on or before the expiry dates of future stock futures. As it is associated with the stock future market, is associated with the expiry dates,
Excuse
lot
me,
sizes,
Siva.
and margins.
Sorry to interrupt. Yeah, apologies. It is not quite clear. Can you go a little closer to your mic or like speak a little louder? Like we were missing the content you are sharing. So you would like to hear you at your best?
Wait, I already changed something else. How are you feeling now? Is it okay, right?
Yes, a little better.
Okay, right. Right. I just hold like this, and can I speak now?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Yeah, yeah. Is it okay now? Am I audible to you?
Yes, a little. Yeah, if you could be a little louder and yeah, it's
Okay,
perfect.
okay, right. The future markets, these are associated with the expiry dates, lot sizes, and margins. All these three things together, making this future market is a high risk and high reward market. So yes, being you know, being an analyst in having done a lot of enormous research in stock futures, they come up with robust solutions for the existing stock market challenges in stock future market. Yes, for this we have got one more. Yes, those who would like to invest in stock future markets, the commissions are buying and selling commissions are charged for an intraday. Even if you hold the stock for the entire contract, you are charged as intraday charges. And any movement, future contract, there are three future contracts will be getting traded. One is current month contract, second one is next month contract, and another one is third month contract. Anytime we'll be having three future contracts will be getting traded on an exchange. Suppose let us take we are in August month. So the future contract will expire on last Thursday of a month. Last Thursday is falling on 25th. That is tomorrow. Tomorrow August contract will expire. Similarly, the September contract. September contract will expire on last Thursday of a month, September. And similarly, for October as well. The contract will expire on last Thursday of October. So these are the expiry dates. So why these are considered as irrespective of whether you are in profits or loss, no matter, you should close the position on or before the expiry dates. Yes, success rate about the stock market. Success rate in stock market is falling just below 5%, and whereas 95% of the people will end up with losing their money, getting failed ultimately. It is all just because that not having the strong knowledge as such, but most of them are indisciplined, lack of vision, like that, and They may be investors. They may be working with various franchises or branches, working as various wealth managers like that. Most of them are they are naysayers. The opposite. They always speak positively. They always point a finger towards the market. Yes, this is what lack of discipline and commitment and vision. All these things put them to have such an illusion, such an assumption towards the stock market. But in the reality, if you work really hard, there are solutions. There are really possible successful solutions. If you can dig deeper and explore the things really well, you can come up with outstanding solutions for enormous stock market challenges. See, when I started my journey as a beginner, I started with a lot of ambiguity, a lot of questions, but I never approached anybody else, never taken help from anything else. Started my journey just by using my own common sense and understanding levels, abilities. Okay, just before just picking this as a profession, never had a plan to enter this stock market and pick this as a profession. Just learning initially after a few months like that, just using my common sense and abilities and able to learn many things a lot. So started then I started then I accelerated my journey just before deciding to pick this as a profession, delve more into the stock market and learn many things and decided then yes, there is something. If I can find it out, then there must be something uniform, globally applied logics. So what must be there? I should find out. I should find them. So these are the things wanting really revolving around my mind when I started the journey. Soon after, step by step, one by one, putting efforts, heart and soul, and coming up with every time coming up with the better solutions for various challenges that have been faced. Yes, and now with me, the weapon-like strategies are there in my hand. These strategies can be applied to any global stock market because I'm telling you, my expert system is derived based upon the stock market science itself. Stock market science, in the sense, it's a behavior of stocks. Right from the what I believed in. I believed in the stocks. I believed in the behavior. I started analyzing the behavior itself. Here I call it as science. So science is a science that doesn't alter from one place to another. That doesn't change one person to another. So if you go to US, the stocks will behave the same way. If you go to Australia, it will behave the same way. So there it is. I just really found something great and something weapon-like strategies in hand, weapon-like logics in hand. So strongly able to say that these strategies can be useful to the any stock investors across the globe. So what I would like to say is that my trading style in the sense, I don't let the investors to hold the stocks for too long. As I am dealing with the stock future market, you don't have to hold the stocks. Once I recommend you any stock, either to buy or sell, you don't need to stick up to the stock for too long. Obviously, we are associated with the expiry dates, so we should close the positions just before the contract expires. Maximum of in my trading investment style, I decided that maximum of 7 days, 7 trading days will be the maximum holding period. You don't need to hold more than that. Meanwhile, you'll get end up with decent and good profits, excellent profits. This is where you will be having a great opportunity to create the wealth for sure. And in my trading and investment style, I consider the time factor. Time factor is a very crucial one and a very important one for me because I'm trying to utilize the time in a proper way to to deliver the utmost best to the customers. Yes, right now I'm offering I'm offering the business services like recommendation service. Recommendation service is where I just recommend the customers to buy the stock, sell the stocks. I don't reveal the secrets like why should you buy the stock, why should you sell the stock. I just recommend them to buy it or sell it. I don't say anything more. And anyway, we'll be getting the good profit in a short period of time, like 1 trading day to 7 trading days. Meanwhile, you will be ending up with a very good profit consistently, successfully. We facing a successive success throughout this journey. And another one is KT product service. KT product services stands for knowledge transfer product service. Where in this service, I'll be sharing the entire knowledge what I gained throughout my experience and research. These are called as the stock market top secrets. I'll be sharing with them. Of course, is some costing is decided for that. It is really costly. You will be learning the things you never heard and you never read anywhere else. They are the secrets, top secrets of the market. How do you understand? How do you analyze? How do you decode? All those things. I'll be letting you know all that through a KT session. This cannot be done through any technical media as such. I'll be meeting the people directly and sitting together, having a conversation personally, discussing the things, disclosing the things, revealing the secrets, top secrets to you. And this will nourish you for your lifetime, not for only your lifetime. This is going to be helpful to your successors as well, to the next generations as well. This is going to be helpful. So this is how my expert system, my strategies and logics will be useful to the customers and those who would like to invest in my recommendations and or take up my KT product service. And one more thing is that let you know that what is the business? What is the business currently? It is happening in the Indian market particularly. When I started my research a decade ago, it was almost half of what is happening right now, and now it is reached its every day. It is touching 40 to 45 trillions a day in National Stock Exchange alone. That much turnover is happening in National Stock Exchange alone. And now you can imagine what about the Bombay Stock Exchange, and what about the commodity market? What about the forex market? Okay, and there are several other things, right? So I don't cover all those things. Apart from these things, the NSE National Stock Exchange alone, this turnover is touching on average 40 trillions a day. And soon after a few years, this is going to be exploded huge. So much people are getting aware of value of investing and requirement of the investing, need of the investing. They come to really they will be having a good awareness to invest in stock markets. Nowadays, anyone, people who started earning most recently, people started earning long ago, whoever they are, no matter. If they are earning, they are looking into the investment side, particularly this pandemic. This pandemic helped a lot. People to learn about the markets, to think about the markets, to think about the investment particularly. And they think about the investment particularly, the stock market is the one will come to you very closely, and this is got a very flexibility. You can buy the stock and sell the stock. You can work on it sitting at any place, any part of the world. Just before a mission, you can do your work. So it has got a lot of flexibility. You can sell your asset at this moment, and you can turn your asset into cash as soon as possible once you sell your asset. So this has got so many beautiful features. So why the people are really interested, are really crazy about the stock market investments. When I started my journey, I started with an ambiguity. Nobody was there. Nobody was there to assist me or to help me out. Of course, relying on my own abilities, my own skill set. Started journey using my own sense. Okay, every time putting more and more and efforts, self-confrontation with me, and learning the new things, at least one new thing a day. This is how my journey started, and now I look the stock market is an opportunity for me. Initially, when I started the research, it was a big ambiguity, and now it became an opportunity for me. So my journey started with an ambiguity, and I'm reached up to the level of the opportunity. The opportunity is there with me. So I would like to I would like to say that to the people who are really interested to make the money, to witness the good profits in the stock market. Never listen to any naysayers. I already told you in the beginning of the session, most of the people who are associated with the stocks, they are really naysayers. You don't have to listen to them. Don't have to talk to them. Once if you are equipped with your additional surplus fund to make the proper investment, stock market investment, then you can approach any market as well. And you can start investing. But be disciplined, be strong, be stubborn-minded, be positive. Never think about the naysayers, those who already failed in stock market earlier. Though talk in a negative manner about the stock market, there is nothing as such. I'm telling you, I told you just now, I started my journey with an ambiguity. But I started with an ambiguity, but I never started with a negative mindset, negative thinking like that. So situate yourself away from the people who think in a negative way, talk in a negative way about the stocks, wouldn't do anything or wouldn't take anything as stock market. So stay away from them. Try to run far away from such people, such mindsets, narrow mindsets. So I would advise you to be very honest to yourself, be sincere in whatever the investment you do. Surely there are opportunities, abundant opportunities are there in stock market. You'll be getting a very good returns, no doubt at all. But all the thing is that you have to be very patient, very stubborn-minded, and fixed mindset. don't have to be panicked. No need to get scared of the stock market movement. Usually people will get scared of the market movement. What will happen tomorrow? Like that. But being done a lot of enormous research in stock market, I can clearly say that I developed such as strategies that they will be helping you throughout your lifetime, not only to your lifetime, for your next generations to either. I developed such as strategies. They are with me now. They are in my hand. They are in my pocket. So I'm telling you again. So don't have to be panicked. The stock market movement. Don't have to get scared of the stock market behavior as such. Don't listen to anything else. Anybody who says that you can't do that. Naysayers, stay away from them. Surely can do that. And I'll be posting my contacts here in chat window. So you can contact me who are really interested about the stock future market investment. I'm not doing other market investments. So if you are really serious considering this as a serious investment, stock future market, then you can really approach me at any time. Through my contacts, I'll be serving you in a better way, and you'll be witnessing the best in the best profits on a regular basis. You'll be witnessing the beautiness of the analysis as well. Yes. Avoid people who are there in this session. We can go on to ask me anything else if you.
Yes, about the proposal you mentioned regarding your stock future market, do you have like a visual, something you could share on the screen for
No,
anyone
nothing.
to see?
Yeah, nothing. Whatever I just wanted to say, I just shared with you. I don't have any screens to share that, but in the chat window, I would like to share my contacts over there. Can I share to chat window? Can I share them to chat window?
Yes, you can put it on chat definitely. Hence, I was trying to check if somehow you have the information about the proposal that because you know we are live via Facebook and YouTube, so you might get those people who would like to support in that kind of endeavor that you're trying to do. So yeah, do you also have links for a website or a form of what do you call this? Uh, like content or a file that they can access to review your business proposal?
Okay, right. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Srini. Is that yeah, here I can see my WhatsApp mobile contacts, so through which you can contact me at any time. I'm telling you, the people who are really interested, Stock Future would like to test the profits on the regular basis. There are clear solutions with me. There are weapon-like strategies with me. Yes, you can surely ensure that you'll be getting sure profits and you'll never get disappointed with my sales.
All right, perfect.
Yeah.
So yeah, so yes, from Srini, thank you for your valuable time and sharing some new info. definitely. And thank you so much, Srini. So yeah, the contact informations of our speakers today are in the chat. So on also for Siva right now regarding stock future market. So he's been doing research and he has this program or a proposal regarding or the involvement of stock market. So for those who would like to explore stock market more in a different way, you can contact Siva through WhatsApp or LinkedIn and get to do a one-on-one discussion. And we would like to check with our attendees as well if they have questions and further insights to our speaker, Siva.
Yeah, yeah. If you have any questions, yes. How many attendees are there?
I'm sorry.
How many are there who attended this session? How many are there?
Right now, on this Zoom, we have four attendees.
Okay, okay, right. Anyone can ask me anything regarding the stock future.
Well, anyway, the context is there. They if they have no questions as of the moment, and it may take time, they can easily get in touch with you definitely through your WhatsApp and also your LinkedIn. And for Suri as well, here are the links of the content that he's been doing, and you can check it there. So definitely. So one last question, if you have anything to say or ask our to our speakers before we close this session for today.
Anybody else?
Okay, so I guess it is well undone. So guys, speakers, thank you so much for your effort, your insights, and the preparations you did for this session for today, and for giving us a wonderful topic. And we really much appreciate it. So for the audience that we have through live, we also encourage you to join us again the same time next Wednesday for two new topics that surely you'll get the benefit out of those topics that we will share with you. So again, this is the Zipinar for the Let Us Talk It, and our aim is to encourage everyone and also have a community which is well informed community and have enhanced knowledge and skills with a very short period of time. For just 1 hour, you get two wonderful topics. So again, we hope to see you again. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining, and have a great evening or morning.
Thank you for your. Thank you
Thanks,
so much.
John.
Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much for
and take care.
organizing this.
Thank you, Surya.
Yeah, thanks, Siva.